Lisa Volpetti, and I'm representing Dalton Financial Group. Welcome, listeners. I'm here with Frank, who also works at Dalton Financial Group. How you doing, Frank?
Okay.
I basically would like to have our show tonight focus on what we do at Dalton Financial Group. We are a retirement insurance agency, and we specialize on safe money retirement. Now, I know that's a little different, safe money retirement. What is safe money? Well, safe money is money that is definitely going to be there for retirement. We plan, we protect, and we preserve what you have. We also grow at a guaranteed rate. How about that? Guarantees. At Dalton Financial, we like everybody to join our organization. You're a valued and ongoing client. We specialize in retirement planning. Our mission is to initiate safe and secure retirement recommendations to protect you and your loved ones. We have lasting partnerships with our clients at Dalton Financial Group. They have been with us a while. We don't just come in and service them one time. We see them quite often, as much as they want to see us. We do annual reviews with our customers, and we specialize in keeping in constant contact. And I hate to say, sometimes in our industry, that's not always the case. We take a little bit of a holistic approach to retirement planning. Basically, we just try to think of alternatives to what is out there. And we like to educate the consumer because you have many options. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about all of those options. So we get out there, we educate, and we show you different concepts. We're going to have our show basically based on those different concepts, and tonight it's going to be long-term care alternative, because as you all know, we do need some alternative, especially in today's environment. I myself have been doing this for 18 years. I'm Lisa Volpetti. I love what I do. I feel good every day. I give my clients peace of mind. And what more can you ask for? I go to bed every night knowing that my clients are taken care of and they're protected. It's a good feeling, right, Frank?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dalton Financial Group, we are located at Ulmerton and 58th Street North, Suite 308, in the Summit Executive Plaza here in Clearwater. Dalton Financial Group was originated in New Jersey, and we would go back and forth between our two offices, and we recently located permanently here in beautiful, beautiful Clearwater. We love it here. We just had the pleasure of going back to New Jersey. And not that I don't love New Jersey, and I grew up there, but wow, was it nice to come back and go over that causeway and look at the water on all sides. So I am a New Jersey native, and now I am a Floridian, and I love it. How about you, Frank? You're
never going back.
Where are you from, Frank?
Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. So
definitely never going back.
Never going back. And we find that as the common theme among many people we meet. We haven't really had a chance to meet some genuine Floridians that were born here, because everybody says the same thing. We're never going back. So today, get back to our financial planning. We have comprehensive planning for peace of mind in any economy. In today's economy, having peace of mind is something that I don't think too many people are aware that they possibly can have. It's very volatile out there. People are unsure. They're nervous. They don't know what to do. I've come across clients that basically say, I'm going to take it all out and I'm going to put it in my mattress. Well, that's fabulous as long as your house doesn't go into foreclosure. So that mattress money just basically isn't really doing much for you, although it is safe unless your house burns down. So that's not really a safe alternative, although I hear it many times. A lot of times people don't even think about early retirement, but again, what goes on in the economy today, sometimes you're forced into early retirement. And that's not a very pleasant place to be if you have not planned for it. So I hear, everybody talks about Social Security, that's going to pay for me. Well, Social Security was designed to only pay for about 35% of your retirement. You need to plan for the other percentage. And you need to have planned all along. And unfortunately, that just has not been the case. So you really need to take what you have, maximize it as much as you possibly can, get the most out of it, and look to professionals to basically try and show you other alternatives that we specialize in to get you an income for your retirement life. And that retirement life is a lot longer than what it used to be. Years ago, when Social Security was designed, the average life expectancy was 60 to 63. So really, that pool was only meant to be used for a few years. Average life expectancy now, I hate to say this, but they say 119. So I don't know about that 119, but I'm going to see a lot of people that are really outliving their retirement that was only meant to last till they were about 63 years old. So what do? That's where you come to a company like Dalton Financial Group, and that's what we do. We help you through every step of retirement and pre-retirement. We basically hold your hand as much as you need us to. There's different stages of your life right now. It's not, put it in, try and grow. Try being what's happening a lot out there, which I equate to gamble. Even though I come from, the land of Atlantic City, we're not really that big on gambling, not with my retirement income. I can't really open my mailbox and gamble if I'm going to have my check that month. I need to have definite money. And that's what we do with our clients. We help them find alternative ways that they can maximize the money that they have, grow so that they can have it later on, and protect it. Again, peace of mind. At Dalton Financial Group, we strive to ensure that our clients, their family, their loved ones, everybody is getting ahead despite the uncertain times. How about that? How many times have you heard people not get ahead? Yeah. Or they lost everything. And don't worry, it's only paper. You'll get it back. Well, I'm not comfortable with that. So I'm comfortable with knowing here's what it is, here's your exact amount you're going to have, here's your answers to your problems. This is what's going to happen for your death benefit. This is going to happen when you're alive. This is going to take care of you through the Medicare years. This is going to take care of you through those crucial retirement years. So you have many years in your life where you can grow, and that's grow your funds, grow your life, but unfortunately your expenses grow as well. So during that growth years, there needs to be a time where you stop and say, okay, now I need to make sure that I have something that is going to last me through my easy retirement years. Where, we all had that image of retirement. We were all going to be out here on the golf course, boating, right? Is that the image? Fishing, yeah. Is that what you see now with 65 and above? No.
See a lot of them working. Working.
Okay. And how easy is work to get at 40 years old? Okay. 65 and above, not so easy to get. Okay. 70. I've 72. Working. And not because of choice anymore, because they're tired of golfing. It's because they didn't plan properly. And that's what we're here to do, is to plan. So one of the topics on the show that I was going to have today is, like I said, long-term care alternative. Now, with long-term care, it's a type of insurance that protects you through those later years when you need health care more than ever. In a perfect world, you're healthy, and then you get older, and as you get older, your health starts to go the opposite direction. And if you're fortunate enough, you've planned for that. And you can comfortably stay in your home, or you can go into a nice assisted living, or you can go into a long-term care facility, and everything is great, and you get the best care that there is, and everything's happy and wonderful, and you are peaceful in your last years. Well, unfortunately, that's not the way it is today. Long-term care facilities cost anywhere between $30,000 and $100,000. They are extremely, extremely expensive. Those facilities know how to take all of your assets. They're wonderful, but they cost a lot of money. And if you want to stay at home, well, that costs a lot as well. So what do people do? They get long-term care insurance in order to offset those costs, which is great. Well, there's a little problem to that. The premiums are very expensive, and they go higher and higher. So what do? If you're having problems paying for long-term care insurance now, during your working years, you're 50, 55, what are you going to do in those years at 70 and 75 when you're trying to live off only 35% of your projected income? What is it that you do? So we have long-term care alternatives that try to cover the gaps of a typical long-term care policy. Today I have a guest speaker. Her name is Elaine Marvin. She is Regional Vice President of One America, an A-plus rated company that deals with long-term care alternatives. Cedric, I'd like to bring her on.
Okay, we'll have her in just 1 minute.
Okay, great.
Okay, we have Elaine on the line.
Hello, Elaine. How are you?
I'm good, Lisa. How are you?
I am very well. I was just doing the introduction for you, that you're the Regional Vice President of One America. And I would like you to tell us a little bit about One America. And one of the things that I get asked all the time is, how is the company rated?
Sure. We have very, very strong ratings. We're a mutual insurance company, and we got an upgrade from AM Best 2 years ago from an A to an A+.
Excellent.
And so we, about the same time that a lot of companies were getting downgrades, we were getting an upgrade. So we were definitely going in the right direction.
Sounds like it. A+s are good.
Yes.
Well, I was just discussing a little bit about long-term care insurance and alternatives, but I first discussed about long-term care as far as what it's supposed to do and some of the challenges that people are having as far as your typical long-term care policy with the cost of the premiums go up, and some of the limitations on the coverage. And we like to do long-term care alternatives, and you're the specialist in those alternatives. So could you share a little bit about what One America likes?
Sure. Well, long-term care is one of those subjects that nobody really wants to talk about, but once they've taken care of it, they just feel a lot better. And I think before I kind of get into the solution a little bit, what I'm just finding is many people are starting to live with this within their own families. So it's not such a foreign thing to people as it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. And so as a lot of us are living a whole lot longer than anybody ever thought we would, and suddenly the realities of long-term care are becoming such a bigger issue. And people again realize it's not just nursing home. The reason for buying long-term care is so they have more alternatives, such as professional home health care, staying in their homes, and those hotel setting assisted living facilities. So with that said, in the traditional long-term care world, and you may have already mentioned this, the potential for rate increases and the thought of what if I spend all this money and if I don't use it, I lose it, has not been real appealing. And so really what we've specialized in for over 20 years now, it's actually going on 25 years, are showing people how to purchase asset-based long-term care or alternatives to traditional long-term care. And really, the easiest way to describe this is just by kind of asking you two questions that sound a little silly. But Lisa, the first question I would even ask you is, have you ever purchased life insurance? And what would your answer be?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Everybody somewhere in their lives has purchased life insurance. And normally what you think about with life insurance is having a cash value in the event that you needed to use some money during your life. The difference with these asset-based long-term care solutions is if you did need long-term care, you could use your entire death benefit, that bigger number, during your life if you did need, again, professional home health care, care in an assisted living facility, or care in a nursing home. So, again, the easiest way to think about this is, Lisa, if you were to purchase a $300,000 death benefit that had these long-term care provisions with it, we know with 100% certainty that $300,000 is going to get paid out someday.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in agreement. But the difference with these policies is that if you needed professional home health care, if you needed care in an assisted living facility, or if you needed care in a nursing home, you can actually use your entire $300,000. So it would be available to you first, and then what you didn't use out of that bucket of money would go to your beneficiaries. So the thought of spending premiums for something that if you don't use it, you don't lose it, again, there's 100% certainty that we're paying this out. We've just priced this policy to pay it out early for really the biggest threat to your asset fielder that you get.
That's great. So basically, you have a life insurance with a long-term care living benefit.
Exactly. So again, one way or the other, this is going to either benefit you or benefit your beneficiaries. Somebody's going to get this. Or if in the future, if you did need to use the cash values, let's say that, times got tough and the person, most of their assets had been used up already, and the last thing they had left on their balance sheet was this cash value life long-term care policy. I mean, they always have access to this cash value as well.
Yeah. And the cash value is earning interest as a regular life insurance policy is?
Exactly.
Wow, that is terrific. Again, another alternative to typical long-term care. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the limitations on typical policies. I found that in my practice I come across when I'm reviewing long-term care policies, and one that frustrates me a lot is that daily cap. So what I mean by that is you could have a $3,000, it says per month, and I get clients that, I have $3,000 a month. And then you dissect it and you look at it, I'm sorry, you have a $100 a day cap. So, as you know, how much do you think $100 lasts in a day in a facility when they start running tests? It goes pretty quick. Do we agree?
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes really quick. And then anything over and above that cap, guess what? That needs to be paid. So what I like is that this is a monthly benefit, and it's usually 2% of the death benefit, correct?
Correct.
And they can use it for the month. So whatever charges that they have, it's for the month. So if it goes over that $100 a day, it doesn't matter. It still comes out of it.
Yes.
And that is a nice feature. And a lot of that is that fine print that, it's not really emphasized as much as it should be, that it's only a $100 a day cap. And that's very, very frustrating because then all of a sudden they're getting a large bill. You had said before about using up all the assets and the cash value is all that you may have left. I'd like to talk a little bit about the fact that when you are in a facility, I mean, they range $30,000 to $100,000. They're very, very expensive. And yes, your assets will go very quickly. So when you have something that you can use as opposed to everything that you have, these policies they're just so unbelievably packed with value. And I love them. I think everybody should have them. And I know you do as well, right, Elaine?
I do, and actually, let me just tell you a quick story here. Sure. I have a producer. I've been around forever doing what I do. And I had an agent that he retired last year at the same time. Well, his wife has been suffering from Alzheimer's. Long story short, he talked to me one day and had mentioned that the only reason he needed to go take a vacation with a family member, with one of his daughters. And he said, the only reason I was able to take this vacation was because I had long-term care insurance for my wife. And he said, it's not that I didn't have the money to pay for it. It's just that if I hadn't had long-term care, I wouldn't have spent the money. I would have been convincing myself that I didn't need to spend the money, that I could do it myself, that I could do it all on my own. He said, I probably had messed up my health. He's 70 years old. It wasn't as easy had he been 50 years old trying to care for his wife. And he said between the mental anguish, the physical strain, having long-term care gave him the ability to continue to live his life. Not that he's not 100% devoted to his wife, but it helped him to continue to live his life. And I think sometimes people need to think about money a little bit for purpose as opposed to trying to chase high returns all the time. So I thought when he told me this, he called me about a month ago and told me this story, and it was like, that right kind of there is really the reason.
Yeah, and that is why we do what we do, is for those reasons. If anybody has any questions, feel free to call in 1-866-826-1340 or go to www.tantalk1340.com. Elaine, we're just going to take a short break for a second, and we'll be right back.
For the most delicious Italian food, you need to visit Stefano's Italian Cuisine, located at 2699 Gulf Boulevard on beautiful Indian Rocks Beach. From pasta to fresh seafood, check out their nightly dinner specials and homemade sangria. Carry out available. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., and Sundays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. For more information, visit stefanos-italian.com or call 727-595-8444. That's 727-595-8444 for Stefano's Italian Cuisine. Grady's Family Mixed Martial Arts is a family-oriented and structured martial arts training center, offering self-defense courses, a bully prevention and intervention program, and MMA classes. Ages 7 and up, Don Grady's Mixed Martial Arts Academy is here to help everyone of all ages, origins, and body types. They can help you get in shape while you learn to defend yourself in a disciplined manner. For more information, call 727-72-MMA-72. That's 727-726-6272. Or online at Grady'sMMA.com. That's Grady'sMMA.com.
Hello, this is Lisa Volpetti with Dalton Financial Group, and I am here with my guest, Elaine Marvin from One America. And we have just been discussing long-term care alternatives and how much they are so helpful when you need it. Elaine, are you there?
I am.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to discuss about the products, husband and wife on one policy. I really love that feature about it. Could you share with us some of the aspects of that or bullet points to that feature? Because I know that doesn't happen a lot. Usually you have to have separate policies.
Yes, you're right. And the reason it only happens with us is we happen to have a patent on it. So
only.
When we created the contract back in 1989, one of the aspects that we came up with was the idea of insuring two people under the same policy. And so in other words, I've been working for the same company for 25 years. I have had the same husband for 25 years. With most companies, if I wanted to buy one of these policies on my husband and I, he'd have to buy one and I'd have to buy one separately. Yes. One of the things that we can do, though, is insure both of us under the same policy so that either one or both of us could actually benefit from this policy. And that's a really, really, really big feature. Most of us, if you look at the statistics, and again, I hate to quote statistics a lot, but if you really do look at the statistics, there's a pretty good chance it's going to be one of us. The idea that this bucket of money could insure both of us or the last one that needs it is just a big, big, big plus. So, and I don't have to be married. I happen to be married to him, but we don't have to be married as long as we have an insurable interest.
Wow,
so
that's
the beauty to pool a bucket of money between two people, again, 100% chance we're going to pay it out after the second person passes away. But the chances that one of us will be able to benefit from this big bucket of money during our lives, the chances are very, very, very big. And that is a huge thing. And yes, it is a patent. The patent's kind of a story in and of itself. You don't find very many patents in the insurance world.
No, you do not.
It took us 15 years to get the patent, but this is a patented feature of the policy to be able to insure both people under the same policy.
And when you insure both people under the same policy, for say you have 65-year-old male and a 63-year-old wife, the insurance is on a 64-year-old, so they average the two.
Yes, and it's actually a bigger number. Because of that two-life feature, it sounds strange, but when there's two lives on this policy, I've got a bigger number than if I did just have one life. And so that's just the design of the policy. And again, it's not brand new, but it's really started catching on probably in the last 5 years, a lot more than it did in the beginning of when we created the policy. But that joint, you're definitely right. That's probably one of the neatest features. Now, it doesn't have to be sold jointly, so anybody that's listening that's interested, is just an individual, that's fine. But the two-life version of this is a big, big, big plus.
Yes, it is, and especially when you look at that combined age, because generally one spouse will be much more higher in premium than the other, so you do that combined age, therefore keeping your premiums lower. It's just all around trying to save money for the client.
It is. And again, it's just all about trying to check that thing off the list that nobody wants to talk about. But once they do this, they just feel so much better.
You mean long-term care is not on my bucket list?
It's not usually on anybody's bucket list until they've been through it. And then suddenly, once they go through it, I just get people all the time that say, I just don't want my kids to have to go through what I've gone through. And everybody knows what they're talking about. You know, there's always these kind of flippant statements that people make, like, oh, I don't need this, for whatever reason. My kids will take care of me, or the government will take care of me, but the reality is no. If you want your choices, your money talks. And you can spend your money dollar for dollar, or you can share the cost with the insurance company. This happens to be just a very, very positive way to share the cost with the insurance company. And it really becomes, why wouldn't you do this? For anybody that says it's because I'm never going to need it, please tell me why. It's going to be that you will never need this compared to everybody else that's going to need it. So,
well, before you came on, we discussed how they're saying longevity now, we're supposed to go to age 119. So I think there's going to be a lot of 100-year-olds needing long-term care as well. So they're projecting that our life expectancy, that's a little much, but they're saying we're living longer and longer and longer than ever was expected.
Oh, for sure. I can remember, again, I came down here at the age of 23, 1984, and I can remember back then the insurance company's life expectancy had changed from 85 to 100.
Right.
And I can remember going, well, that is crazy. Who's going to live to be 100? Right. And now,
119.
My mother and her twin sister are getting ready to turn 90 in November. So, the idea that we're all living much longer is really what is the important reason for why this stuff is so much more important. Because we are living a lot longer.
And that's just the beauty and so fabulous of insurance companies, that basically what they do is they fill in all the gaps and put a Band-Aid over the holes that we have that we weren't really planning on because things have changed. Like I was saying earlier, we were, when Social Security was first designed in the 1930s, we were supposed to live till 63. So you retire at 60, remember those days, and you collect Social Security for 3 years, and that bucket was going to stay full. Well, now people are living so much longer, so we know what's going on there. So it's just that you have to be prepared, and the insurance companies have come up, and they basically are ensuring that you're going to be okay.
It's true. I think one of the other points is kind of interesting. I can remember, again, we've been selling this product now since 1989.
Wow.
I can remember trying to go in and present this to people who specialized in, showing people how to grow their assets in the 90s when the stock market could do no wrong. If you needed long-term care in the year 2001, if you needed long-term care in the year 2008, if all of your assets were aggressively invested in either one of those years, that was not good timing for long-term care. And I think that's the other way to kind of think about this. This is just an asset on your balance sheet designed with one particular aspect of planning in mind. But in the event that that's not what happens, which hopefully it won't, it's not like if you didn't use it, you lost it. So it becomes such a positive way to handle really probably the most negative thing you want to talk about. We've got life insurance and long-term care, bar none, no two worse things to have to talk about. Basically taking two negatives and turning them into a positive.
I know, I'm always fun at parties. I wonder why people turn and run the other way.
So what do you do?
Yeah, life insurance, yeah. Did you plan for death? And they walk away. I don't know why. But
it's true.
I know. I do want to talk about that. You said, you've said it a few times, if you don't use it, you do not lose it. So let's talk about that. This has a return of premium feature built inside the product, and that's what you keep saying. So if you decide that you have this, you don't want it, whatever, life changes, and you have everything set, you get a full refund of your initial premium.
Yes, well, there's a couple different ways you can buy the policy.
Okay.
You can buy the policy and pay a premium every year like everybody's used to buying life insurance. You can limit your payment for 10 years or 20 years if you wanted to do that. And like most insurance companies, we do have a surrender charge schedule like every insurance company does. However, one of the other ways that a person can actually buy this policy is with a single premium. They take a lump sum of money one time, they move it into this policy, And that particular aspect of the policy, yes, it's got a return of premium feature on it, which just says, if you change your mind, yes, we would give you your money back. And people sometimes will say, well, how in the world can an insurance company do something like that? It has worked extremely well, and we've been doing this for a long, long, long time, and it is just a feature that we're glad we're able to offer it, and it works. Again, we can't do that on an annual premium basis, but that aspect of the policy, even that builds a very decent cash value. But the single premium is just, again, it's just a way to take, maybe money that's sitting in a bank or a CD that doesn't have a purpose, moving it over here, creating this big number in the event that long-term care happens. And again, what you don't use, you don't lose. And if in the future you needed to use that lump sum of money to pay for groceries or whatever it might be, the ability to get that cash back is a big, big, big thing. So it's no matter what happens, you're going to benefit one way or the other from this policy.
Right. So basically, you still have your assets on the table. You still have your amount. You're just moving it into a different spot to be able to accomplish something that you need in the future, if you need it. And if you don't, you can take it out and you can do whatever else you'd like to do with it. But
yeah, and I think it's all about thinking about, purpose. Again, what is this money for? We all want to grow our assets. There's no doubt about it. But most of us want to do that without taking much risk.
Right.
And sometimes those two things don't go hand in hand.
And earn 30%.
But yeah, and I think one of the other ways to kind of think about this is, most people, what they don't realize, unless they've been through this, is that there's a good chance that somebody else is going to probably be supervising their care, which is what you want your children to do. You want your children to supervise your care, not do your care. But the other thing is you also are going to probably have somebody else that's going to be supervising your money, and that's the hard part of this whole equation. So having an asset in place with everybody's understanding of what that money is going to be used for, but if you didn't need it, they got it, or whoever the beneficiaries are, is just, again, it's one of those things that when people can sit down with you, Lisa, and look at this as an option, and again, you can't make a decision until you have all the information anyway, but if they're able to sit down and talk with you and say, well, does this make sense for us? And it doesn't make sense for everybody, but it does make sense for a lot of people.
Yes, it does. And if anybody would like to sit down with us, please feel free to call the office at 727-538-4171. Again, 727-538-4171. If you have any questions right now from myself or Elaine, please call us at 1-866-826-1340 and visit us at www.tantalk1340.com. We're going to take a few second break, and we will be back. Thank you, Elaine.
For the most delicious Italian food, you need to visit Stefano's Italian Cuisine, located at 2699 Gulf Boulevard on beautiful Indian Rocks Beach. From pasta to fresh seafood, check out their nightly dinner specials and homemade sangria. Carry out available. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., and Sundays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. For more information, visit stefanos-italian.com or call 727-595-8444. That's 727-595-8444 for Stefano's Italian Cuisine. Grady's Family Mixed Martial Arts is a family-oriented and structured martial arts training center, offering self-defense courses, a bully prevention and intervention program, and MMA classes. Ages 7 and up, Don Grady's Mixed Martial Arts Academy is here to help everyone of all ages, origins, and body types. They can help you get in shape while you learn to defend yourself in a disciplined manner. For more information, call 727-72-MMA-72. That's 727-726-6272. Or online at Grady'sMMA.com. That's Grady'sMMA.com.
Hello, this is Lisa Volpetti. I'm here with Dalton Financial Group, and I'm here with special guest Elaine Marvin from One America. Hi, Elaine. How are you?
I'm good.
We are discussing long-term care alternatives, and we were just before the break, we were discussing a return a premium feature, which if you don't use it, you do not lose it. You can get it all back, which is just fabulous. That is just fabulous. Another key feature that I like about that is if you don't use it, you could just leave it there and you get a death benefit. So how great is that? You have your life insurance all taken care of, or you can take care of your long-term care if you need it. One of the features that I also wanted to go over was continuation of benefit feature. Could you share with that the lifetime of continued benefits?
Yeah, this is this is that area of long-term care that I've been watching forever and watching everybody almost struggle with it in their minds.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean is there's a statistic that's been a terrible, terrible, terrible statistic for the last 20 years that said the average stay in a nursing home is 2.5 years. There's two parts to that sentence. First of all, it's the average stay, and the second part is it's nursing home. So it has nothing to do with where the majority of us will receive our care. The majority of us will stay at home and have a professional home health care agency come into our homes and personally provide me with the kind of care that I do not want my kids giving me. So that's why a professional will be coming into my house. Then I'll go to one of those nice hotel setting assisted living facilities like the majority of us will. And then I'll go dragging and kicking it into a nursing home. So again, the problem with that statistic is, again, it's nursing home, and again, it's an average. There are very few insurances that are sold to the averages. If we bought car insurance based on the averages, we probably only need about $1,000 worth of car insurance, but that's not the way things work. We usually buy insurance because of the catastrophic. So really, what the catastrophic is in the long-term care world is not average term care, it's long-term care. Now, what we've been discussing is this bucket of money that if it were gone, yes, it's gone. So if I have this bucket of money that's tied to this life insurance policy, we go through the whole thing, it is gone. Except we happen to have a rider, and we have a rider where we can either double the time frame or we can still offer lifetime benefits. There are very few insurance companies, I can't really name any at all anymore, that have any lifetime features that they're able to sell any longer. And it's not because it's not a risk, because it is a risk.
Correct.
So how our policy works, it's something that price-wise, it's very, very affordable to add this feature. It is optional. It is spending money. If you don't use it, you do lose it. But it's it's priced very, very inexpensively. And again, anyone that wants to talk with you about the policy, I would just encourage them, look at this optional rider. Anybody that can share stories about long-term care anymore, I either hear the stories are really short or they're really long, and they're getting longer. So, again, it's because it's home health care, assisted living care, nursing home care. Could that be over a longer length of time than just the averages? So, it's kind of, I think the way to think about this product is kind of have a two-step process. Step one is here's a great way to have a win-win solution. If you don't use it, you don't lose it. Step two is how insured do you want to be? And that's either, again, a bigger monthly benefit or a longer benefit, which could include unlimited. And again, it's a big, big, big deal to still be able to offer that feature.
And it could be unlimited if you have a joint policy on the husband and the wife.
Oh, yeah. Which is the average.
Unheard of.
I hate statistics, but the average. And the reason I say that is because nobody really believes statistics. I think most people believe what they've experienced themselves. But with that said, the average long-term care stay now is 8 years, and that's average. That's not maximum. That's average.
Wow.
And so that can be, again, a concern. It's not that other areas of if care can go long as well, but I think that's the one that just concerns a lot of us the most.
Yeah, and the assisted living, I hear that so much. Everybody say, oh, just go to assisted living. I'll go to assisted living. Like it's just something that's offered. I have a good friend of mine's mother just went to assisted living, and she had to sell off her house, and she had to put up $250,000 that's just sitting there. So it's just sitting there waiting for them to use it while she's in her assisted living that costs $2,800 a month. Now, it's a very nice assisted living. Like you said, they're like 5-star hotels. It's a more expensive area, but that's basically what you're looking at. So I don't think, I think there's a misconception of what the price is going to be. I was shocked. I just couldn't believe how much it was. And then I hear a lot of, people say, well, the government's going to help. Okay. So when you've, I heard, did you gasp or chuckle? I didn't.
Yeah, no, it's a chuckle. It's a chuckle. It's the government, the statistic on long-term care is a very, very high. You have a greater chance of needing care than not needing care as you age.
Oh, yeah.
So the bottom line is if, most everybody's going to need this care, then how in the world can the government pay for everybody to have the care of their choice? And I think that's what it boils down to. And I think that people are starting to realize that. If you want professional home health care, your choices is going to cost you, or you can share the cost with the insurance company. If you want to go to the assisted living facility of your choice, it's going to come out of your pocket, or again, you can share the cost with the insurance company. If you want to go to a nursing home, and that's what's starting to happen, the nursing home world is really becoming pretty much synonymous with Medicaid, and it's just your choices kind of become a lot slimmer then.
And with Medicaid,
again, that's the big issue.
Well, with Medicaid, I mean, for you to be eligible for it, you have to really not have any assets, and basically, and if you do, so like you said, you can share the cost with the insurance company, or you can share the cost with the government. The difference is the government wants to be paid back. So, you can really get yourself in a situation where the government is saying, no, well, we want this back. And that will happen. So you will have to pay back. If they find any assets, you have to pay it back. So, well,
and I think the thing it comes down to is again, it gets down to choices. And your choices just, once you become impoverished and your choices and your control goes to somebody else, that is really what happens. And the whole idea here with these products is, but that's not really what most of us want.
Right. That's not the choice I want.
Want to have more choices, and I think that's where the plus comes in with these. They're very interesting. Again, we're not the only insurance company that sells them. We've been selling them probably the longest, but
you are an A+ rated company with patent
mutual, and you can go down the list here, and we've got the patent on the joint, we've got the ability to do lifetime, but it's something that I really just would encourage anyone that's listening. Do your homework. Find out what's out there. Do something while you still can, though. The other piece of the equation is a lot of times people will call up and say, I've got a client that would like to buy this, but they have this health condition. And again, underwriting on these policies is very reasonable, but there are still some things that we would not be able to insure. If I have somebody who's already in a walker or a wheelchair, no, we cannot offer insurance to them.
So the time is to get it right.
That's sometimes the problem we run into in this world is that, people want to buy it when they're walking into the facility, and you have to be, that's not going to happen.
Right. I mean, it's not different than any, you can't buy life insurance if your life expectancy is, 12 months. I mean, it's just so. You
can't buy health insurance as you're heading into the hospital.
Exactly. So you need to get it beforehand to ensure that those things don't happen to you. And one of the things that I come across a lot, and you touched on it a little bit before, is, the client that says, I got it taken care of. I have enough money over here, and if anything happens, I'm not going to really be a burden to my children because I have enough there.
Yeah.
And, and that's what you really need to understand is, yes, you have enough there, but that is going to go very, very, very quickly if you're in a situation where you need home health care. Those bills add up every single day, or the assisted living, as I shared, the price of what they cost. And, a nursing home is very expensive. So why touch what you do have there when you have so many other alternatives to preserve what you have and then some, so you can enjoy your life, as you said with your representative that said he could actually travel because he had long-term care. And that, is a very common theme. I'm good. I have enough. We'll just use that. And I think, like you said, people really have to investigate and research how costly it is to be able to stay in your home.
Well, and I think the other big part of it, too, is, again, most of us don't discuss our assets with our children.
No,
my son,
no.
My daughter, they don't know anything about our portfolio. We don't do that. And yet what happens for long-term care is people say, I have enough. And I would say to them, first of all, when they tell me that, well, congratulations.
Right.
Because what that tells me is that you are a responsible person. You have saved. You have invested. And for that, the government will let you pay for your professional home health care, your care in an assisted living facility, and your care in a nursing home. And if you want to do that dollar for dollar and deal with tax issues, keep going down that path. But there's another way to do this that gives you tax-free money, leverage, guarantees. It's just a part of your portfolio, and it just makes sense to add. And the last point I would make, I had a producer say to me last week, and again, my normal job is to go out and talk to insurance professionals and financial advisors. He said to me, don't have your clients put their children in between their inheritance and your comfort. And I just thought that was such a powerful statement, because that's what happens when people don't have a plan.
Right.
It's a bet. And, we're betting it doesn't happen. But if it does, this was the best place to have it. And I think that's what it gets down to.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Right. Have a plan. And that's where
have a plan.
Have a plan
for everything else. Have a plan for this.
Yeah, have a plan. Let everybody know what you want, what your wishes were, and just take that burden off and just have a plan.
Exactly.
Well, Elaine, thank you so much for being part of our show. And we are going to go to break again. If you would like to call and talk to someone at Dalton Financial to go over any of these plans, if they're a good fit for you, please do so at 727-538-4171. Again, Elaine, thank you so much for being a guest on our show.
Thank you.
Bye.
Grady's Family Mixed Martial Arts is a family-oriented and structured martial arts training center, offering self-defense courses, a bully prevention and intervention program, and MMA classes. Ages 7 and up, Don Grady's Mixed Martial Arts Academy is here to help everyone of all ages, origins, and body types. They can help you get in shape while you learn to defend yourself in a disciplined manner. For more information, call 727-72-MMA-72. That's 727-726-6272. Or online at Grady'sMMA.com. That's Grady'sMMA.com. For the most delicious Italian food, you need to visit Stefano's Italian Cuisine, located at 2699 Gulf Boulevard on beautiful Indian Rocks Beach. From pasta to fresh seafood, check out their nightly dinner specials and homemade sangria. Carry out available. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., and Sundays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. For more information, visit stefanos-italian.com or call 727-595-8444. That's 727-595-8444 for Stefano's Italian Cuisine.
Hello, this is Lisa Volpetti with Dalton Financial Group. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We're just wrapping up our show a little bit. We had a guest speaker tonight, Elaine Marvin from One America. And what we've been going over is long-term care alternatives to long-term care. And Elaine was just full of information. The product that her company offers is fabulous. If you'd like to sit down with someone from Dalton Financial Group, please call us at 727-538-4171. We are located at the corner of Ulmerton and 58th Street North in beautiful Clearwater. Please feel free just to stop by. We're at Suite 308. You can ask for me, Lisa Volpetti. We were just been going over exactly what the whole philosophy of our office is plan, protect, and preserve. And the long-term care alternative that we have been discussing does just that. So you're planning so that you have everything set in case you need long-term care, and that involves home health care. You want to stay in your home. You need to go to, the hotel-type assisted livings, which are very, very expensive, or eventually that you need a facility. You want to have all that planned in place so that when you're not really capable, maybe, of making decisions, your children or whoever your caregiver is knows exactly what your wishes are. So please feel free to call us so we can sit down and discuss if that plan is for you. A couple of the key features of it, one of them was, return of premium. That was great, right, Frank?
Excellent.
I mean, that is like, how many times you hear, oh, I pay for insurance, health insurance, and hey, I didn't use it. Well, good for you, first of all, but you feel like you threw your money away.
How many people take out policies and think they have money coming back at the end?
Yeah, right, yeah, right.
It's at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And with this, if you don't use it, you say, hey, you know what? I'll take all my money back. That is a great, great feature. And as Elaine shared with us as well, looks like we have a caller. Oh, okay. Elaine shared with us as well that it has a feature that's a patent for One America, husband and wife on one policy. That's fabulous. Also, continuation of benefits to keep those benefits going for the rest of your life. So these are just some of the things that Dalton Financial Group offers to our clients. Again, keeping alternatives, giving you options as opposed to the standard, retirement plans and normal plans that, you see out there. There's just so many other things, and you have choices. And that's what we feel really strong about. Choices, options. I want options. I don't want to just be in a cookie cutter retirement healthcare plan like everybody else is. I'm an individual. You're an individual, right, Frank? You want a plan designed for you.
Sure.
So give us a call at Dalton Financial Group. Again, 727-538-4171. I appreciate all the listeners that tuned in tonight, and we will be back next Monday at 6 o'clock. And we're going to go over next Monday, Index Universal Life Insurance. What's it all about? We're hearing a lot about that lately. Saving for retirement. We have some good options. Please feel free to call in 866-826-1340 and ask any questions about that. Thank you so much, and have a good night.